Jim, we'll start with you, as we also have next to Jim. We mentioned Matthias Leighton and Akil Meredith Smith, but Jim, start with you. Again, a young team, right? But this is a team that you guys are physical. I know that's the way that you want to play your football. And you're fast. I'd imagine these, as you get the mic there, these are two things that are important for you guys and something that I'm sure you're seeing in the preseason.
Yes, I think the main thing is we have a really good mix of veterans like these two guys who are leaders, Matthias and Akil, and they're leading the young guys really well. I really feel that we have a chance to be very good on defense because we have a lot of speed, and like you said, so many guys that are commits and have college interests. So, we're looking to improve. It's not a finished product yet, and we'll take it game by game.
I know that you guys are obviously knocking on the door to a championship the last 2 years, but not to bring up sour memories, but what do you think were one or two factors in the reason that you weren't able to accomplish that, and what areas do you want to fix to do that this year?
Well, I was at that. I wasn't coaching last year, but I was at Moore. But I was at that game, the championship game against Holy Trinity, and it was a game that came down to 2 or 3 plays. So we walked off the field with our heads up, and I don't think we have to fix anything. I think we just keep on playing, keep on knocking on the door. And one of these years, the door's going to go down.
It very well could be this year, and maybe a big reason why is the gentleman to your left, Matthias Leighton, an Army commit as well. So we always appreciate that. Certainly a guy who was going to the Service Academy. So congratulations first on that commitment. You are, according to Coach Giannatasio, the only guy who will be that full-time two-way player, right? I mean, it's something that obviously health-wise you guys are trying to have more one-way guys, but you will impact the game on both sides as an athlete on the offensive side, where you had 524 yards receiving a year ago, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. You've been a part of this for a couple years now, as has Akil. What are you seeing from this group in the preseason?
I'm seeing our group come together collectively. We're growing as a team together. We got new faces coming in from all over, from Jersey, from all over Staten Island, all over New York. We're just coming together collectively.
What do you think it is about the Staten Island athlete that makes you guys a little bit different and gives you that edge to compete against some of these programs that have more numbers on their roster, might have different facilities, things of that nature?
We know that we're a small group, so we got to bring it to them, bring it to the other teams as much as we can, just to show them that we're not just some small guys from Staten Island.
Well, one guy who is not a small guy from Staten Island is the gentleman to your left, Akil Meredith Smith, a guy at left guard, a Bowling Green commits. Congratulations, Akil, on that as well. It's a young offensive line. You're the anchor, man. You're that old the old dog on that group. What is it like to be that anchor and to help sort of mold these guys? You've been through the trenches. You've been through all these plays, all these preseasons. To take that leadership role this year, how big is that?
I mean, that's really, really big. I'm just trying to lead, show them how to work hard, and just trying to get us to be the best that who we could be. Yeah.
You guys had a couple of good runners in the backfield last year. Obviously, RJ, John Mikowski can run as well. I'm curious, as somebody who's on the line and blocking for them, how much of a challenge can it be at times, and how did you rise to the challenge? What led you to rise to that challenge to protect those guys? Because they didn't get knocked down in the backfield a lot, and the big reason for that was for you and the rest of the guys in the trenches.
We could rise to the challenge because we have some guys who can make plays, and that really, really helps to know that you have someone who can score if I just make this one block,
Matthias, we mentioned week 0 road trip for you guys right away at Trinity, at PA, but I would be remiss not to ask you about the big one. And here you see their schedule as well. Cornell, Egan, Christ the King, but then that next game in white. Listen, I know that. Listen, the coach. Coach Espo will tell you take it one practice at a time. You take it one game at a time. But listen, it's Farrell. It's on the road. It's the Lions Den on a Friday night after beating them at home last year. How exciting will this matchup be for you?
This will be very exciting because we won in overtime to a field goal, so it was a close matchup. But I feel like we're gonna bring it to them this time at their home and beat them with no excuses.
You heard it right there. They're going to beat the Lions at the Lions Den, which will be an electric atmosphere. By the way, I'd be remiss not to say quarterback this year. A lot of these other programs where they had like that big stud QB who graduated, there's still a quarterback competition. Not the case at Moore. James Matera was the backup last year. Really didn't get the reps, right, because Mikowski was just a beast. He played injured all the time. Only 2 attempts a year ago for Matera, but he's that guy who will bring that element. And like John, like so many other more guys, he's that linebacking mentality and the quarterback position like Mikowski was. So he brings the run element. He'll bring the live arm. So they'll be just fine in that position as well.
And he brings an intricate knowledge, too, of the defense as well, having played on the defensive side as well. He knows what to look for, and that's only going to make him better as a gunslinger.
Jim Esposito, Matthias Leighton, and Akil Meredith-Smith, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for making the long trip as well from island to island.